Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ratih Niarti and my ID student 222200063. I am from English Educational Study Program A2 2022 IKIP Siliwangi. On this occasion, I would like to explain about narrative text to fulfill my ICT final exam. Let's start! The first one, definitions of narrative text. Narrative text is a type of text that tells story or describes a sequence of events. The purpose of a narrative text is to entertain or inform the reader by presenting a series of events in a coherent and engaging way. Next, what are the characteristics of narrative text? The first one, using past tense. Narrative texts often contain past tense because they typically recount events or stories that have already occurred. Using the past tense helps to create a sense of time and sequence which enable the reader to follow the plot and understand the progression of events. Also, writing in the past tense gives context and show a clear link between action and their result, which help the reader get into the story and understand what the characters are going through. Second, using adverbial of time. Narrative text often use adverbial of time to provide a clear structure and sense of progression to the story. This time expression help the reader understand when events are happening, how they are related to one another, and the overall flow of the narrative. By providing a context for the sequence of events, adverbial of time create a more vivid and engaging reading experience. Third, using adjective. Adjectives are words that describe or modify nouns, or put it simply, adjectives are words that give more information about a noun such as its color, shape, size, and characteristics. In narrative text, adjectives help create a more detailed and vivid story. Fourth, using noun phrases. In narrative text, noun phrases can be used to give more detailed description, highlight certain parts of a character or setting, or explain complicated ideas concisely. Next, what is the purpose and social function of a narrative text? The purpose of the narrative text is to tell a story or recount a series of events in an engaging and entertaining way for the reader. Some narrative texts may also have didactic or instructive purpose, such as teaching moral lessons or sharing information about historical events or specific cultural traditions. And yet, narrative texts also have social functions, which included entertaining, providing information, and of course, educating the readers. So, what does the structure of a narrative text? The first, orientation. Orientation sets the stage for the story. Ideally, the orientation should answer the question who, where, and when. So, when reading the orientation part, we should be able to identify the character and setting, both time and place of the story. Second, complication. This section contains the problem that occur within a story. It is divided into three parts, namely, rising action, problem begin to emerge. Second, climax, pick out the problem. And last one, falling action. The tension of the problem begins to decrease and the solution starts to emerge. Third, resolution. The resolution is the part of the narrative where the conflict or problem introduced earlier in the story is resolved or addressed. This may involve character finding a solution to their issues, overcoming obstacles, or experiencing personal growth. The resolution helps tie up loose ends, providing closure for the reader and allowing them to see how the events of the story have impacted the character. Fourth, reorientation or evaluation. Reorientation, also known as evaluation, is an optional component of a narrative text that serves to reflect on the story and its event, reinforcing the moral lesson or theme. This section typically appears at the end of the story, providing a summary or commentary on the character's experiences and the consequences of their actions. It helps the reader to understand the significance of the story and encourage them to consider the message or lesson the author intended to convey. Next, type of narrative text. There are lots of different kinds of narrative text such as fictional narrative. A fictional narrative is a story that is not based on real event or real people. It can be a novel, short story, fable, or fairy tale. Second, autobiography. An autobiography is a narrative text that tells the life story of the author. Fourth, memoir. A memoir is a narrative text that focuses on a particular period or event in the author's life. And last, legend. A legend is kind of a folklore. It's a traditional story that has been passed on for generations. It is often explaining the origin of a particular culture or society. And this is the example of narrative text. You also can find the other example on the Google or on YouTube. Alright guys, that's all from me. I'm sorry if I made a mistake. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your watching. See you on the next occasion. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.